Attention, dirtbags of America. The boys are coming to your town this fall.
Yes.
To find out who is the most garbage in said town.
Yes. Atlantic City, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Brea, Burlington, Vermont, Boston, Massachusetts, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, Raleigh, Richmond, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Rochester, Toronto. Tickets available. RUGarbage.com.
We will find you.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite podcast. This is Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah.
It's our little show. We sit down with your favorite comedians, and we find it at the group to be classy.
Yeah.
But they're just a big old piece of trash.
Garbage.
I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here at Toadie's in a new edition. She's around here somewhere.
Okay.
On her fifth Tom Collins of the day.
All right.
Be dealing with that later. My co-host is coming at you right next to me. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage. He is an international businessman and my best pal in the whole wide world. Give it up for KJ, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. Also, full video available over there on Spotify. And the greatest website of all time, www.patreon.com/areyougarbage. Check it out, gang.
Yes, sir. And gang, we couldn't be more excited to have our incredibly, and I mean incredibly special guest here with us today for the first time. She is one of the absolute superstars over there in the WWE universe. And speaking of which, SummerSlam, 2 nights, August 2nd, August 3rd, out there at MetLife Stadium, streaming on Peacock. Do yourself a favor, make sure you're there, or you check it out. Arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Give it up for Becky Lynch, everybody.
Hey,
Look at
thank
it.
you for having me.
Look at it.
We got a belt in the studio.
You got a belt in the studio.
There it is. Look at her.
Intercontinental champion.
I want you to hit me with it, just right across the head.
Well, let's see what happens.
Did I do 3 W's?
You got a little caught up in the
did.
I liked it.
Big man boys will be looking for me. Get straightened out. Buddy, thank you so much for coming in and sitting down with us.
Ah, thanks for having me.
And congratulations and everything. It's unbelievable.
Sure.
An absolute monster. We're excited to have you. Give us the origin story. We know you're Irish.
We were getting into it a little bit
Yeah, we
before.
were talking about it.
Yeah, I am
Lay it
Irish.
on us.
Spoiler.
This
Well,
There
thanks,
we
everybody.
go. Irish. Yeah. I was born in a little place called Limerick in Ireland, also known as Stab City.
Really? Is that the name of
That's
it?
actually the nickname.
No
yeah,
way.
Yeah, for reasons you can imagine. And moved up to Dublin.
Was that like an upgrade from you're going from Stab City to Dublin? That's like you're getting
yeah.
out of okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Got out of Stab City.
Sure, okay.
Went to the big smoke. And grew up in Dublin in a little townhouse.
yeah.
You know, like
Okay.
a little semi-D, you know, actually. Yeah, semi-D.
What did mom and dad do?
My ma was a flight attendant, air hostess. Yeah, very glamorous.
Okay.
Very glamorous.
For what airline?
For Aer Lingus.
Yeah,
Did you fly
I've
it?
flown it. Yes.
Yeah. I at one point followed in her footsteps for a couple of years.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Whoa, you were a flight attendant?
I was a flight attendant. Yeah, a bit more exciting than being a professional wrestler. But, then I just, wanted a normal life, so I decided to join WWE.
World famous wrestler?
Yeah.
So she was a flight attendant, and she was a model before that, and then
Really?
she wanted,
No kidding.
That's back when, a model and flight attendant back in the day, that was like
Hand in hand.
it was a very, debonair type profession,
Yes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about your
that was-
pops? What'd your dad do?
My dad was a wild man. He was
It's the first time we've ever heard that.
This is all adding up.
he was he was a gas salesman, right? Like that was like his day job, but he was also an inventor, right?
What?
He was always
What?
just inventing stuff.
Like actually inventing
Give us
stuff
an
or like
actually inventing stuff. So like he had these dreams of being like a super millionaire, right? So he would invent all these things. So at one point,
Like what?
this guy's awesome though.
he invented this thing called the auto scan, right? And so it was this machine, and this was like back in the 90s. Like I remember seeing this machine, and it was like a metal detector, and it would detect if a used car had been in a crash.
What?
Right? So, like, if you were going to buy a used car, you would get the auto scan and you would use it all
to find out if
over
there was like non-metal in there, or
Yeah,
like the Bondo or whatever they put in.
exactly.
Wow,
That's actually pretty good.
That's
I
actually.
thought you were gonna say like a can opener razor or something like that.
No, but like it was actually really cool. But then, of course, the thing was that this auto scan would cost like £400.
Yeah.
And if you're buying a used car,
Yeah.
and this is in the 90s, this cost like £400, and then you're trying to buy a used car for like £200. You know what I mean?
doesn't
Like,
make any
You don't
sense,
care
yeah.
what's in there. You gotta get to work. That's
I gotta
awesome.
get out of Stab City.
the math didn't line up. And then he had
Did
this.
he make it himself though? Like, or did he have some? Do you remember? Was he
Is he
good
making
with?
this in the townhouse?
Like no, he like he
contracted it out to
I don't know.
someone.
I
so
don't know.
somewhat
maybe.
on a legitimate side. Right.
Some never made anything. Though, God
Gotcha.
bless
He wasn't making gremlins in the basement or anything like that.
No,
Gotcha.
we didn't have basement. That's an American
That's an
thing.
American-
That's an
that's a very
American.
American.
Yeah. We
That's
don't
the
have.
point that you make. We didn't have a basement. I love it.
We don't have basements. Yeah. Oh, you're very fancy with your basements. But no, and then he invented this like bird feeder thing where you stick it on the window and the birds can't see you. They just look at their reflection.
They
but
have
you
that
can
now.
see
This
them.
kinda
guy's
big
sharp.
now.
What are we talking
it
about?
was yeah. It was before.
This
He
guy's
was
ahead of his
before
time.
Yes.
Because what? Not the metal detecting thing, but they have Carfax now, where you can determine whether the car was in an accident.
He was ahead of
right
his
there,
time.
man.
He was right there.
Holy
He was right
cow.
there. None of it took off. God bless him. None of it took off. God bless. And then he was like, then he was gonna write a book on Captain Boycott. Who's
What's Captain Boycott?
So yeah, right. Yeah.
Irish superhero?
No, he an imperialist, right? So he was a British lad,
Gotcha.
I believe. Like, let me get this story straight
Sure.
so that I don't
Yeah,
ruin
yeah.
the legacy of my
I
dad.
can pull up some.
So anyway, so Captain Boycott, right? This a big landlord around the time of the famine, I
Okay.
believe, right? So like 1840 something.
I'm with you.
And
1880.
1880. Oh, right. So after the famine. But this lad was like doing the British people's,
Bidding.
you
Gotcha.
know, taking the food, kicking the Irish off the land,
Sure.
all that horrible stuff. And then the Irish banded together and were like, we're gonna stop buying from him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so hence the term boycott.
Gotcha.
And so my dad was gonna write a book on boycott, and he was like, every government in the world is going to buy this, and everybody's
he
going
had
to.
big dreams.
He had big dreams because
Right there too.
Yeah, because he's like,
That's
he wanted to get how good boycotting was. You know,
Sure.
if somebody is acting the fool, then you just
You gotta
boycott them.
boycott them.
Yeah. I hope I got that all right.
No, yeah, that's pretty.
great.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think I got it right. I think
Man,
I
Your
got it
dad
right.
would be proud. That was a good.
I can see the movie right as you were saying it. That's
Well,
great.
yeah. So that was the origin story of boycotting, and like I think people know how to boycott, but anyway, he thought it was. He thought everyone should
That's
know
crazy.
about
Man, that's
the
pretty wild.
origin story.
How
of
about
boycotting.
brothers and sisters?
Got one brother. Yeah.
Older,
yeah.
younger?
Older.
Far apart. How far?
4
4
years. Yeah.
Okay.
Legend. He's who introduced me to wrestling.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
How big is it over there? For you, let me ask you this. For you to get where you are coming from Ireland, that's a pretty monster accomplishment, I would assume, right? The feeder program over there is not the same as it is here? Would that be
Yeah, I would say
safe to
so.
say?
Like when I started wrestling, like I didn't start wrestling being like, oh, I'm gonna be in the WWE. I was like, it's stupid. Like
It's
stop.
WWE, by the way.
WWE.
Get it right, Becky.
Women's World Wrestling Entertainment.
I got nervous.
But yeah, I didn't. I was gonna. I don't know what I was gonna do with
Sure.
my life. But
Did
like,
it start in like, because here, it's like one of the things that we've talked about on the show and people have written in, and then we have fans that are fans of, like, is it like backyard wrestling? Did you have that aspect, like super amateur?
They did have
Yeah.
that. Like some people did it, but like there was all. Do you remember the warnings on WWE at the
Of
time?
course,
and it was
yeah.
like,
Of course.
don't try this at home. And
Yeah.
then you would see documentaries about people like frowning upon backyard wrestling. So it was like, I'm never going to do
Never
that.
do that,
Never
yeah.
do that. No,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to join a reputable school. And so there was
good for
none.
you.
And then I found out they were opening one by one Finn Balor, Fergal Devitt. is his real name. Finn Balor is his wrestling name in WWE.
That all sound made up.
Let's talk about boycott again.
And so, yeah, when I was 15, I found out they were opening a wrestling school, and I went along, and I was like, oh, this is
At
how...
15?
At 15. But, like, I didn't go because I was going to be a wrestler. No, I went because I was failing PE. I was drinking. I was up to no good. I was
Classic 15-year-old Irish broad.
Yeah. Pure delinquent behavior.
I
you
was
know what I
fighting
mean?
anyway.
Might as well get paid for it, Learn how to take a bump.
But like, I looked at like WWE and I was like, well, everybody's in shape there, so if they're in shape, they probably got in shape from wrestling, and so I'm gonna be in shape, and then I won't
What
fail.
logic?
That's
What logic to end up a superstar?
And now you're sitting here with the belt. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Parents were supportive about all that?
No, God, no. No, my dad was. My dad,
He's
of
a
course,
dreamer,
my dad
of
was.
course,
My
yeah.
dad was a dreamer, right? Like my dad was like he was like, be yourself, Bex, like dream big, whatever you want. And my ma was like, no, you be realistic,
Which
you
is
get
the
a real
traditional
job.
Irish
Of course.
mentality.
Of course.
Something to fall back on.
Exactly. Like,
All
what are you
that's-
gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan? And obviously, like, wrestling wasn't gonna be my plan. So I didn't tell her that I was doing professional wrestling. I told her I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds way more.
Mom, an assassin. Don't worry, I got it.
So I told her I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But then one day I was wearing like a spaghetti strap. Just
Yeah.
Sure, I got you.
yeah.
I wear them all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah, and but when you run the ropes in wrestling, you get all these bruises on your back. And so I come downstairs and my spaghetti scrap completely forgot about all the bruises on my back. And my mom's like, "What's that?" And I was like, and then I had to tell her that
I got in a fight at the Brazen Head.
I had to tell her that I was a professional wrestler. She lost it. Oh, she
No
was
way.
very upset with me. Very upset with me. Now she's super supportive.
Yeah, of
Loves
course.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've done all right for myself.
There you
For
go.
sure.
Yeah.
Back when,
Crazy.
before when you were your delinquent days, had any run-ins with the cops?
No.
No? Just
Actually,
kind of.
no.
Okay.
No, none.
It's good to hear,
Not
though.
one. Actually, not once in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Very honorable citizen.
She's sharp.
Yep.
Very good.
Gets around the system.
I know, yeah.
I sure did.
How were you as a student, grades-wise?
Grades wise, average at best.
Okay.
I was really good at history and English.
Okay.
They were my two subjects. The
Okay.
rest, and geography. I was alright at geography
Okay.
too. Anything that had stories, right? Like anything that was story
They
based.
had like a narrative.
Sure.
That had a narrative to it. I could tell stories.
Yeah.
I could read stories. I loved stories. But anything else was for the birds, like biology,
That makes
math,
sense.
languages, like awful.
I'm with you.
Art, music, pure crap.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Pure crap.
I was second to last in my high school in my graduating class. So you're in good company.
Right.
Yeah, you're in good company.
What did the vacations look like growing up?
So because my mom was a flight attendant.
right. Free flights probably.
Yeah. We didn't have like a surplus of cash at all, like at all. But because my ma was working for Aer Lingus, I came over to America for Christmas when I was like 6.
Whoa.
Came to New York. I was
Really?
like, one day I'm gonna live here. Yeah. So like I got to come to America. Like where were the places we went to? Was New York and Boston, and then when I was like 12, LA, and then we would go to Spain
Whoa.
and Portugal.
Look at this.
So like I
Very
got,
well
I
traveled.
got a few summers under my belt and a few summer holidays under my belt. But for the most part, we would just go down to Kerry.
Here we go.
And and so
Let's get to the nitty-gritty.
Kerry was
yeah.
but Kerry was like my favorite holiday, right? Like
Right.
because we had a caravan. On the beach, on a beach called Ventry there. And
Okay.
a little caravan and a mobile home.
It was your
Because
parents.
It was my grandmother.
Gotcha. So that would be like your beach house, quote unquote.
That was our beach house.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a little caravan.
All right.
Yeah, but like because my ma had like, she was one of 5 siblings.
Okay.
And then every sibling was married with kids, upwards of 3 kids, So you'd be going down there and everybody be crammed. I'm actually going, how the hell
How
did
did
we
you
all
all
fit?
yeah.
We all fit but like, and then there'd be family, friends, and everything,
Right.
and it was great.
Like a clan.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
huge clan.
Yeah.
And like you'd go on the beach and we'd be off and like I've got a 4-year-old now, and like when she's at the beach, I'm like terrified if she, gets up to the waves.
Mm-hmm.
But we were like
forget it.
we were just there was
Jumping off the
waves
cliffs
just,
and stuff,
Yes,
yeah.
jumping off cliffs. There was waves coming over our head. We were 2, and I go,
nuts.
how do we survive?
So our version of that over here, from being from Philadelphia, would be going down the shore of the Jersey Shore, but you were scraping by. So like he was
Bunch
in,
of
like,
families
in
living
like
all
a
together.
small
Yeah,
apartment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? With like 20 family members. Very similar vibe. Running all over the place. Yeah, you never knew where anybody was. A riptide could have got any of us at any moment.
But how did we all?
I think a lot of people didn't make
Yes.
it. If you
Oh,
look back, I
really?
think a handful of people,
For sure.
they just chalk that up to the 80s and 90s
Yeah.
and keep it moving. Huh.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Sure.
The good old days. Oh, but man, there was a place called Cumino was the beach that we loved the most.
Okay.
And there was a teddy bear factory on the way there. No, a teddy bear museum. And you go
Museum?
into yeah. And you go into this teddy bear museum, and that was the best that Kerry had to offer for tourist
Scary old
attractions.
haunted museum.
Just a bunch of teddy bears. But they did have a great chocolate pie. It was called the Pooh Bear pie. Oh,
I can feel
delicious.
that language.
Stop the lights. Yeah, stop the lights. I still think of that Pooh Bear pie.
Speaking of which, we're both Irish descendants. We have a kinship to the Irish cuisine. What was who did the cooking in the house growing up?
Actually, do you know, both my folks, my dad was actually a really good cook. My mom was very good.
Okay.
Like my whole family, big cooks.
What are we putting
know,
out? What are we talking about? What kinda...
Like you do the old stew and lots of roast dinners. Lots of roast dinners. That's a big thing. My dad would make a great chip, French fry.
Sure.
Chip.
I speak the language.
Yeah.
I said-
He'd make a hell of a chip. The old deep fat fryer. Oh God, do you remember they were in every house? Were they in every house?
We
over here?
had one, yeah.
Oh, deep fat fryer. Stop
That
the
would have
lights.
been like something that somebody would have kind of invented and been on like an infomercial that got into houses over here.
Yeah.
If your dad was over here,
he would. Oh
You
my
don't- oh
God.
my God.
he'd have like the
Bless him.
rotisserie machine and everything.
He would. He really he missed his time. Yeah. But and then like a bangers and mash. Great.
That's my
yeah.
my go-to.
Spaghetti bolognese. When we were feeling fancy.
When you're,
Yeah.
That's the curveball for
Yeah.
Irish spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
big over in
I know,
Europe.
all
The
right.
bolognese is
Do you
big
know,
over in Europe.
actually, chicken curry is
Yeah,
huge,
of course.
huge over there.
Yeah, it's wild.
Huge over there.
Yeah.
It's actually somehow become an Irish food.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't know how it is, but and that's our our spice tolerance.
Yeah,
probably,
is that?
a mild chicken
on
curry.
Fridays.
Yeah.
Gang, this is an ad by BetterHelp. As you know, Kippy and I both started our mental health journeys.
Sure.
Very important.
Yes.
A little up and down. But you know what a big thing is?
What's that?
Stress in the workplace.
Ooh, babe, child, you ain't lying.
Not here.
No. We are all comfy cozy.
61% of the global workforce experiences higher than normal levels of stress. What does that tell you? Everyone's about to lose it.
You got to talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody. BetterHelp is the best way to do that. You do it from the privacy of your own home. It's a fraction of the cost of going to see somebody else.
So in person, you got to pay for. They're not paying an office and this and that, the light, the whole thing.
And no matter where you are,
Uh-huh.
they can pair you up with the perfect therapist for you.
Yes.
So do yourself a favor. If you're experiencing that stuff, especially at work,
Yeah.
don't let that drag you down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Talk it
Should be out
baby.
there living, baby. They have over 30,000 therapists. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Hachi machi. They're here to help, and it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on, get this, over 1.7 million client reviews.
Damn.
It's convenient, too. You can join your session with the therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into a busy life. Here's the turkey. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/garbage. One more time, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/garbage. Do it.
Kevin's talking about Rocket Money.
Rocket money!
Gang, as you know, Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's half the battle right there, baby.
Buddy, you ain't lying.
You're killing it. Rocket Money shows you all the expenses in one place, including subscriptions that you forgot about. You know what I mean?
That's big.
Subscriptions you no longer want. And Rocket Money can help you cancel them.
Yes.
So do yourself a favor. Start saving.
Ooh,
Rocket Money.
Rocket Money's 5 million members.
That's crazy.
Is a lot of people. Have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions.
That's a lot of gum.
With members saving up to $740 per year when they use all of the app's premium features. Rocket Money will even help negotiate to lower your bills. The app automatically scans your bills to find opportunities to save, then goes to work to find you better deals. They'll even talk to customer service.
That's
so
awesome.
you don't have to. You get alerts if something goes up, something goes down. I got it where all my stuff's connected. Every week I get you spent this much more, you spent this much less. This is about to hit. You got a big transaction coming up. Get eyes on it so you don't get jammed up in overdraft.
It's all pizza.
It is. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/garbage today. That's rocketmoney.com/garbage. Rocketmoney.com/garbage.
Do it. That's good. So big extended family over there. Any family over here when you would come over here on vacation to like New York or Boston? Or anything?
Like I was only coming with my man overnight, so we'd only be here for like a day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have a cousin in Boston.
Okay.
Well, my ma has a cousin in Boston. I don't have a cousin in Boston.
Sure.
Any
But,
pets growing up?
I had a fish.
Okay.
I had a couple of fish.
The way she said that. I thought she was going to say I had a peacock or something. Oh, wait
You
till you
made
hear
it
about
sound
the
like you
fish.
guys eventually ate them
I
or
know.
something like that.
That's what
Hey,
the
it was
stew
delicious. What'd you have?
So I had a cold water mountain minnow.
A minnow? That's not a... Wait, hold on.
That's bait. What are you talking about?
A cold? I've never heard someone name the breed of minnow. Cold minnow.
It sounds like you're selling it as a special. Tonight we have a cold water mountain minnow.
Cold mountain minnow.
Sauteed.
That's a small fish.
And
The
his
term
na-
cold mountain minnow likely refers to the white cloud mountain minnow. A small, hardy freshwater fish popular in aquariums. Okay. You only had one of them?
His name was Zeus.
Zeus. That's a pretty good name for a fish, though. I'll give you that.
And then when Zeus died, then I got a goldfish,
Mm-hmm.
and his name was Zach, named
Zeus.
after Zach Morris.
Really?
From Saved by the Bell.
Was that...
All checks out.
What was because American TV is
Big over there.
big over there. Was that what were the shows you were watching growing
Saved
up?
by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Hang Time.
Hang Time's the one that goes under the... you probably
Under
missed
the
it.
radar,
Yeah,
man.
Hang Time was great.
California Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you remember California Dreams?
I'm a little old for it, but I looked at it in resentment because it was like in comparison to the shows that I grew up with in that same vibe.
Oh, California
Yeah.
Dreams.
That was
very
great.
Yeah.
Remember City Guys? Did you have City Guys? No, that was a deep cut.
oh,
CITY. You can see why these guys. Yeah, that was a deep cut.
No, and then we had all the cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
like Hey Arnold, Doug, and all that kind of stuff. The Simpsons, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
big Simpsons fan. Futurama, Family
Yeah.
Guy, Friends.
Perfect.
We had all of them.
Yeah.
What was
we
the
had the
first
classics.
concert you went to?
It
This is a big one.
was Frank Black and the Catholics, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Frank.
Irish
Black
band?
No, Frank Black from the Pixies.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty legit.
Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
concert.
Yeah.
How old were you
It
when you
was-
went to that?
It was either I think 13. It was either that or Jethro Tull, but I think I think Jethro Tull was 14, so I think Frank Black was the first one.
Jethro Tull's a good one.
Yeah. God, it was like, but it was
Huh.
it was kind of past its prime, like because we went and everybody was sitting, like it was sitting.
Yeah, he was
and
popular in
then-
the 70s.
Well, yeah, but like no, but Ian Anderson was there still, like
Doing his
going,
thing.
man. He was going with his
Yeah.
flute and he was dancing around the place.
Yeah.
And there was like, but then like, but all the audience was kind of old, and like at one point, some guy like started to get up, like, and the person behind him just pushed him down, and I was like, God, we were
Now,
gonna
who do
get
you
a
go to that
party
with?
going. My brother.
You and your brother.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the one
Frank
in 13?
Black and the Catholics. I don't know. I remember being very drunk.
13?
Sure, look it. We were in the old country. Sorry, ma.
Kid gets after it.
Well, but by the time I was 18, I wasn't doing nothing. You
Okay.
know, I was on the straight and narrow. Wrestling put me on the straight
That's
and
great,
narrow.
yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Now look at me.
Yeah.
Now
All
look
right.
at me,
Now
man.
she got a belt.
Now I got a belt. You know,
belt.
I've held nearly all of them. The only one I'm missing is the U.S. title. But sure, look it. We'll probably get that in a second.
What? Say that again.
We'll probably get that in
You
a
will?
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, look it. Yeah.
Confident. I mean, Jesus.
I mean,
World
I'm the
champ.
best. I'm the best to ever do it.
They're significantly
It's not just
heavier
me
than
saying
I That's I mean,
And that's a
I
smaller one.
I had fake ones growing up.
Yeah.
Man,
no,
I was
the real thing, the real gold. Me lucky charm.
What was the first job?
First job. First job I had was, I mean, I was a bit of an entrepreneur myself, you know. We washed cars and stuff.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, like
Go to the neighbor's house or
yeah,
whatever.
like we had like I grew up on a tiny little housing estate, you know, and there was like 54 houses, but there was a bunch of us. There was like 10 girls, all my same age as me.
Running
And so
around.
we had this like little band of girls, and we were like 8 years old and going and getting money so that we could go down to the shop and buy sweets, you know. I was actually eating a Werther's original just a second when I came.
What are you,
in there.
100? A set you had a Werther's original today?
Well, yeah. It was in the car. Which, by the way,
Don't eat those. What are you nuts?
know,
You're eating Uber candy?
well, no,
We get some from WWE to protect her. She's eating random Werther's originals she found in an Uber.
Yeah, but like I was just saying to me manager Dip, I was like, I remember when Werther's came to Ireland. Like I remember going down with my car wash money to buy a pack of Werther's.
I would have thought they were invented in Ireland in the
No,
80s. I thought boycott made them.
No, I remember the ad, and there was like an old grandpa.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's so cozy. Those things just
yeah.
hit different. They're
They-
great.
it was
I
so
mean,
good.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, they were probably like grandfathered in to you guys. But
Yeah.
I remember when they came.
When they blew up in
I
Ireland?
remember when
That's
they
funny.
came to Ireland. It was amazing. But anyway, so like we would all go around knocking on the neighbors' doors.
Can we
and,
wash your car?
Yeah, can we wash your? And we would like just streaks. Just make it way
It was
worse,
horrible.
way worse than it was before. So that if you count that as a job, which you know,
Entrepreneurs, you said.
Yeah.
entrepreneur. And then I worked at a restaurant called what was the name of it? It was in Howth. It was under the railroad station. Did you go? You were in Dublin. You didn't go to Howth.
Hey, Becky work here?
You didn't go to Howth.
No, what's
No.
Hoth?
Howth
Is that
Howth is beautiful. It's in
Neighborhood
Dublin.
or a town?
It's in Dublin. It's
Okay.
like a little like kind of like a fishing village. Like
No, we did.
We might have staggered through it.
Oh,
to be
Yeah, I
honest
mean,
with
it's
you.
it's
You
all
just-
very,
Yeah.
it's all very.
outside of the city. Well, if
Okay.
you go back, you should go to Howth.
Gotcha.
It's beautiful.
St.
It's
Stephen's
beautiful.
Green, I loved.
Oh, St. Stephen's.
Stumbling
Green.
home
Yeah,
through
yeah.
that.
I don't
yeah.
know. Those pigeons were a little too much.
That's
Those
true.
the
There is a lot
ducks.
of
They were.
pigeons.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
A little
very
too much for
menacing.
me. Yes.
Very menacing.
Very
Yeah.
confident ducks.
They are
or
very-
pigeons.
Yeah, they are very confident,
Huh.
as they should be. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like
you
they
gotta
run,
believe in yourself.
They
you know
run.
what I
They
mean?
run that city. Do you know?
What was the first car? Or not? Well, okay, two questions. What was the family car growing up, and what was your first car?
My
Dad invented one.
I know.
It had
this is-
6 wheels.
You make it sound like you're doing like a language barrier to figure out what a
He
car is.
loved cars.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think. Like I
Back.
remember me Maz. She had this like, was it orange or red? Like maybe it was like a Fiesta of some sort.
Okay.
And my dad had an Alfa Romeo.
Really?
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
That's big over here.
Yeah.
That's
It
fancy
was,
stuff.
You know, he bought it secondhand, of course. You
Gotcha.
know,
But
But the
maybe
auto
use-
den.
Maybe use the auto
the
scanner.
auto
The auto
scanner.
scanner.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
It's all plastic.
Yeah. And so he had one of them and took really good care of it. And then my first car, well, my ma, she got a Volkswagen Polo, and eventually I just
Hand me
started
down.
driving it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And then when I came over here, oh my God, the used car system over here, what a racket! What a racket!
Welcome to the
I
USA.
just got like ripped off left, right, and center. Didn't know what I was doing. Couldn't get. I was living in Orlando. Couldn't get around. Bought this little banger of a thing. It broke down as soon as I like got off the lot. Like as soon as I got, it smelled gross. It was. Oh,
Do you remember what it
disgusting.
was?
Like it was a death trap. It was a something. It began with an S. Like a
Saturn, Suzuki.
Maybe a Suzuki or something.
Suzuki?
Maybe it was an awful little piece of shit. Oh, I hated that car. And then my friend, another Irishman, Joe Cabray, legend of a lad, he was in NXT with me in WWE. That's our developmental
Sure.
system for people that don't know. And then he got fired, and then he gave me his car, sold it to me. And then I was driving to get a freaking root canal, and then that thing blew up.
You got bad luck with
And
these
then,
cars.
yeah, no, this like disaster. Just as that thing, just smoke on the highway. And I know, what am I gonna do? And then there was this guy.
Is that an intercontinental superstar Becky Lynch over there?
Hold on, I just want to say you were doing pretty good up until that little thing where you got to Orlando, Suzuki, root canal.
Car on fire on the side of the
Car on
road.
fire.
Car
Those
on
are
fire
all
on the
bad.
side of
Yeah.
the road. And then, oh man, then I was at a show and there was a security guy and he was driving a Volkswagen Beetle. I was like, that's my dream car.
Really?
That's my dream car right there. That's my dream car. And he was like, I'll sell it to you.
Oh my God,
And
you're
I was
buying
like-
cars off people.
25 grand.
And well, no, it was reasonable. It was
Gave you a
like
good deal?
eight grand, but I couldn't afford it. That's
$8 grand?
8 grand. Yeah.
Was it one of the
Second-
newer ones, like the ones
Had
that
to
they?
be.
It
It wasn't like
not-
an old school one.
No, it wasn't like a
was
super
the-
old school.
the
It was like one of the
reissued
newer,
one, yeah.
one of the newer ones.
I was gonna say.
And so I bought it off him.
What
but
year is this? Ballpark.
This was 2013.
Okay.
14 maybe. I bought it off him, and he was so nice, and he was letting me like just pay him like weekly installments. You
Gotcha.
know what I
That's not a bad setup.
then-
weekly installments to own a Beetle or a Bug. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because he
She had the
still,
root canal. She
because
had
he
to pay
still,
that.
because he still owed money on it, and then I.
Oh my goodness, you are digging yourself into a garbage hole.
Man,
Welcome to the
Yeah.
show.
Orlando hit you hard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
But then I was able to pay it off. Then I
Okay.
was able to pay it off. But then he died, and he never paid it off.
Oh my
so
God.
then they repossessed it. So that was my car experience.
You had a
Alright,
dead
yeah.
guy's car
Oh,
repossessed
yeah,
in
I know,
Orlando.
I know,
That
it
still
was
had money
terrible,
on
it. Was
it.
terrible. Yeah. Oh, and he was such a lovely guy too.
Oh.
Yeah. God bless.
That's too
Man,
yeah.
that is true. You
And
get
I never, but that was my dream car.
well, you got it. What's the car now, if you don't mind me asking? Something nice.
Well, no, it's not nice. Well, it's I drive Teslas, and I like
Okay.
I like it for the
the environmental.
the
Yeah, yeah, of
environmental
course.
purposes.
Yeah,
All right.
Hmm.
Since we're getting there, what the car is now. You went through it. You earned everything that you have. The first time you got the big check, what'd you do with it? Were you always kind of smart with money?
I am still terrified of. I'm not like a
spender?
I'm not.
You didn't go out and buy a bunch of jet skis, anything like that?
No. I bought like $250 shoes, like runners, like
And a pack of
Adidas,
Werthers?
Yeah.
Adidas, like platform Jeremy Scott
Uh-huh.
shoes, which I thought was like baller.
That was
your
You know
big
what I mean?
splurge pair
And
of
that was
shoes.
that was my
That's
big
really
splurge.
smart
That
with
was
money.
my big splurge.
Old school Irish, I respect it.
Yeah, look, but sure, look, what do I need? Like, I'm not I'm not a designer person, you know. I have like a Gucci purse, and I bought it for practicality, but it's like worn to the ground, like it's in bits, you know, like pure in like I don't care about any of that stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I respect that. I
Yeah.
like that. That's good.
Not
Sharp.
a big baller.
What
Not a
does
big baller in
what's
terms
a
of money.
vacation look like now?
Gotta
Where
be nice,
you-
right?
Yeah,
You
treat
and the husband,
yourself.
kid go away.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. When we go away, we like something a bit nice,
Okay.
you know. But we just don't go away very.
I'm not going to the camper down.
Sure.
I would love to go
Sure.
down to the camper like that. I would love to do
Uh-huh.
that. It just takes a lot of time, you know.
Well,
And then I'm in the car with a 4-year-old for 6 hours, and I have no idea how my parents did it. But they'd be blasting Fleetwood Mac, and I'm just like, you
She
know,
likes
and
the- she likes the
She likes it.
classics.
She likes the
You
classic.
know,
I gotta give it
I
to her.
respect it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
what it's all
We had
about.
the tape, you know, and then you'd have to take it out and turn it over, and it was great. It was great. Yeah.
Okay.
But gosh, where was the last vacation that we took?
You guys do the beach. You do an all inclusive. You like hotels.
Do
you
you
like
ski?
renting a house. What do you guys prefer?
You know what? I used to snowboard.
Okay. Not for you.
It's a lot of work.
Sure.
It's a lot of work.
Seen you fly through the air.
It's a lot of. Yeah, exactly.
That's a
Jumping off the top rope like Spider-Man.
Exactly. I
It's
don't
a
wanna
lot
be,
of work.
I don't want to be doing all that when on my
Sure.
time off. You know, you gotta like you're climbing up the thing, and you've got all the layers, and you're hot. And then you gotta like drag the snowboard up, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Beat people up, and she's going.
crazy.
I gotta carry
Oh,
my snowboard.
God. And then you go down the hill, and you're like, oh yeah, this is nice. And then you gotta go all the way back. Oh, it's just such a.
I got you.
We know you guys.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
We know you guys are very busy. Do you guys, when you have some time off or whatever, a night or two, you guys like to go out to dinner? You like doing dinner?
Nice restaurants. What's
Like a nice
the
restaurant?
Yeah, we don't do it too often, like because we're gone so much.
course.
And when we're home, we just like to be at home, like with our daughter. I love a dinner party.
What?
love a dinner
This is
party.
great. This is
I love a dinner
very
party.
good.
Okay.
Very
I
good.
read like an article about the death of the dinner party. I said, not on my watch. Not
I
on
love
my
that.
watch. No.
So you'll have the other couples over?
When I was a kid, there was always,
Sure.
my mom would be
People.
cooking or my aunt would be cooking. There was hustle bustle, everybody be over, the kids would be playing. I love that. I love that buzz. And so I was like, I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to do it. And I love it. I love it. Like I had not too long ago, brought everybody over, did an Irish stew. The kids were
Love
off
that.
playing, you know what I mean?
all
Like
right.
it was great. It was so great. I love that.
Do you have them bring stuff with them, like, and like a potluck, or do you handle it all?
I handle it, and guests are so nice.
Sure,
they bring something.
How do you
polite.
feel about that? And how do you, when you're going over to dinner at somebody else's house, do you generally bring something with you?
A bottle of wine,
you
a
never,
dessert, anything?
you never show up empty.
Never
handed.
show up
Oh
empty
my
handed.
God,
Good
my mother
Irish
would
girl.
kill me. Yeah. You can't show up empty.
What do you
and I always
bringing?
say this to my husband. I'm like, no, we can't show up empty handed. He's like, they don't care. They don't want anything. I'm like, it's manners.
And where's your
It's
husband
manners.
from, if you don't mind me asking?
Iowa.
He's from Iowa.
He's from Iowa.
Yeah, he gets it. They don't
yeah.
want nothing.
They don't want
I
nothing.
can hear him saying that right now.
Yeah. I'm like, no. You never show up empty.
Okay.
Never.
good.
That's just polite.
That's
just manners.
I understand.
I
It's
like
just
that.
manners.
When you guys do occasionally get to go out to dinner, how do you feel about taking leftovers home from the restaurant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
I
knew
don't
that was
like
gonna be
wasting
yes.
nothing. I don't like wasting. But like so my husband, like he loves a fancy restaurant, like
Okay.
a tasting menu, like a let's go 10 courses.
What the hell's this? What the
know?
hell's a tasting me?
Yeah.
I'd like to know what he did with the first big check. I'm sure it was something.
He's pretty good too. So he loves like a real fancy restaurant. I love a gastro pub. You know what I mean? Like when they got some like fried
The most Irish
cauliflower.
thing ever said.
I love a gastro pub.
know?
Okay.
And they got cauliflower on the menu. You know
That's-
what I
I
mean? Like
mean,
that's what I want.
That is a trashy person's idea of class. They got Brussels sprouts and
Oh
cauliflower.
my
you
God,
love Brussels sprouts. Of course
yes,
you do.
Yes,
Of
when you
course.
see the Brussels sprouts,
Uh-huh.
the deep fried Brussels sprouts.
I mean, yeah, you might as well be eating a
And-
chicken finger.
Yeah, and then you go, God, what were we doing with Brussels sprouts?
They
for
listen. They
decades?
popped up very recent,
Decades.
and I'm on board
They're
with the
doing
deep
very
fried
well.
Brussels sprout.
I know,
doing
me
very
too.
well.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, good for them, man.
Mhm.
That is a glow up and a half. Like this boiled Brussels sprouts that we're all forced to eat, and then we find out that if you just stick them in a bunch, we could have been using our deep
The
fryer
I
for
know.
that.
The Fry Daddy.
Oh,
Plug the Fry Daddy in. Let's
gosh.
go.
Yeah, we missed out.
If you had to choose, not that you do it that much, what would be your go-to fast food? Would it be McDonald's?
No,
No.
I like a
Yeah.
Burger King.
A Burger King. Good for you.
Do you
Fucking
know-
the system.
Do you know what? Yeah,
That's
I
why
like.
she's the champ.
I like a Burger
That's
King.
why she's the champ.
The burgers are better. My dad used to love a Whopper. You know, he used to love a Whopper.
I don't know why that tickled me. That
You
was
like-
good.
But that was the thing, because my parents, by the way, were separated. I didn't go over this, but my
That's
parents
okay.
separated when I was 1. And my dad lived down in Limerick, Stab City. And
This
so-
is now all checking out. You really painted a little bit better of a
Yeah.
picture.
And we-
Dads in Stab City.
Yeah. And we would, then go see him every other weekend, and then by
Gotcha.
and he
Okay.
would be living in like a studio
Mm-hmm.
kind of with like students and stuff like. And my mom was like, I don't want my kids going down and so she moved them back into the house, and so
No way.
they just lived in their separate rooms, lived their separate lives, and so they weren't together.
But
and
lived
never
in the same
dated
house.
anybody. Yeah. And like just but lived in the same house, and we did like everything as a family, but just like we weren't. Like we were divorced.
Jethro told dinner parties. You should have opened with
I don't
that.
know how.
Oh.
I don't know how we didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
That we really. You're trash, and I love you.
Well, you didn't-
That's-
well, you
I mean,
didn't
it's
ask.
100%. Welcome to the show.
Holy
You are trash.
Okay, let's talk about true classics.
Ooh, the truest classics.
Let me ask you a question. What's the best T-shirt you ever owned?
I got one answer. It's true classics.
That's right. And why? Because they fit good, they feel good, they wash good.
Buddy, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Did you know that True Classics just doesn't do T-shirts? They got a whole line.
I did know that.
Do yourself a favor. Get over there. True Classics. That's your one-stop shop, baby, for looking fly, looking fresh, and feeling good.
Yeah. I'm wearing a Bozo shirt right now, and I'm upset about
stinks.
it. I know. It's baggy in the wrong places. I look like I'm fatter than I am.
You got no pipes.
I know, but with True Classics, now that I'm slimming down a little bit, True Classics, you put it on.
Oh, yeah.
I look like, dude,
What do you think you're in, an XL?
Oh,
a large?
Yeah, probably a large.
Buddy, you throw on a large True Classics?
I look like an outside linebacker.
Ooh, you look like fucking Swayze from Roadhouse.
Coming in hot, baby. I've said it once. I've been using True Classics because I used to listen to podcasts. I'm a podcast consumer. I'd listen. People talk about True Classics. Let me check this out. They can't be all about the hype. I checked it out. I friggin' love them.
So all you got to do is take that one step.
Woo!
You know?
They got the packs. They send you this. They send you that. Listen, you can grab them at Target. Listen to this.
Don't get them at Target.
Listen, I have to contractually say you get them at Target, get them at Costco, but real homies and bozos will
Americans.
go to trueclassic.com/garbage and get hooked up today. One more time, trueclassic.com/garbage. Now back to the show.
Back to the show.
But like,
Did they get along?
no.
All right, now we're there.
No,
Okay.
I mean, like I think there was.
Nice try, lady.
I think, like they were.
That
they
media training is
they-
really rubbing off.
They tolerated each other. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like very admirable. You know, like we didn't really see them fighting that
That's
much.
good not to do it. That's for
until-
the kids, yeah.
Until my ma, like, then she met her husband now, who's wonderful. But you know, like, and she was like, "Oh God, I don't want to meet anybody because this was the setup and
It was
this
easy,
worked."
it was working.
And then,
Gotcha.
But then, you know, she met somebody, you know, after living with her ex for,
How do you,
you know, for
that's
like a
great.
decade.
how do you sit down and tell your new boyfriend, hey, by the way, my ex lives at the house?
That guy's not my brother.
My stepdad called and my dad answered. That was when he first like went to ask my ma out.
No
God,
way.
Like
that's
that
so
was the
funny.
situation. Yeah. It was wild.
That's so funny.
But they were separated for however many years. But where was I going with that?
I don't know. But we went
That your
right
that
to
your
the
garbage.
meat, to the meat of the show.
yeah, but separated parents. Oh yeah. So Whopper. So
The Whopper.
So,
It all comes back to Burger King.
So then my ma moves out and we move in with her, but it was next door. By the way, it was next door to my stepdad now. So what happened was, you know,
Man,
she
this
was
polish
door.
is really rubbing off.
she was looking for a place near my stepdad because we lived like half an hour away, and you know she was going back and forth and all that kind of stuff.
Where did they meet, if you don't mind me asking?
He was a pilot.
He was a
pilot.
pilot.
He was a pilot.
She starts dating a pilot.
Yeah. And so, but anyway,
Good for her.
anyway, my stepdad was building a shed in his back garden.
Oh, this isn't
He
good.
accidentally knocks down the back wall. The neighbor's going wild. She's like, "Oh, you gotta get this fixed." And anyway, and then she calls a few days later, and she's like, "Actually, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell the house." And he's like, "Oh, well." And so then we bought the house next door. But like, so my mom didn't want to move us all in together into the one house with my stepdad. So
Shit.
so we
You had two houses next to each
two
other.
houses next to each other, but no back wall. So she'd be like, she would go in and out.
Who
with
was
the
at
back door.
who was at the second? So your mom moved in with your stepdad.
No, she moved into our house,
Okay.
and my stepdad lived next door.
Oh, you are built
Yeah.
for the show. That is
But
wild.
then anyway, so then when I'd see me dad loved to go for a Whopper. You know? And like we'd go and we'd get like a Whopper at Burger King, and that was like our fancy.
that was a
That
moment
was our
for
fancy. That was our fancy dinner. And I loved it. I'd get a double cheeseburger,
There you
Mm-hmm.
go.
and I still love it. But you know, I
Look
will
at
say,
that. Asking you what your fast food is revealed all that garbage about the family. That's beautiful. That is
But
absolutely beautiful.
I will say, they really have an identity crisis when it comes to their chips, like their French fries. Like, do you remember they had the standard McDonald's French fries, right? Like they just tasted the same. And it was great. It was great. It was great. And they had different burgers, but they had the standard fries. And then they changed it and they went to those crispy fries. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, what they do? I hate these fries." And then after a while, you were like, "Oh, I like these chips." You know what I mean? I like these. But then now I've had it recently. I don't know what they're doing. It's just
Okay.
like this bland, generic.
No good.
No good. Like go back. You either got to go full McDonald's or you got to go weird, crispy, whatever the hell that was.
I gotcha.
With weird taste
I got
to
you.
it, but that kind of became a little bit cracky.
I'm not that much of a world traveler. And I think I call balls and strikes when it comes to food. I do have some nostalgia hang-ups. When we got back from Ireland, I said this on record. All right, as much as I love America, glad that I'm an American, the fries, chips over there.
Oh, the chippers.
They're better.
Well, see, wait.
I don't think
Just
that's up
better.
for debate, really.
No, way better. I mean,
Yeah, it's like-
a chipper. A chipper chip is
They're
the one
better.
thing that. But like, does that count? Can I change my answer and say that I love a chipper chip? Like
Sure.
a
Oh,
chipper. Yeah, like I love a
Gotcha.
chipper, but there's no chippers over here. So I
Right.
thought we were talking about the American.
Sure,
with you.
no,
vernacular
yeah.
fast
I
food.
don't
with
think I know chipper chip.
We saw
chippers.
them over there.
I'm
Like
tired.
the chippers. You didn't go to a chipper?
No.
They're
didn't.
usually like.
I got
named-
wood chippers. That's how out of it in America
no,
we are.
they're like usually
It's a
there's
chain.
no.
No?
Well, there's a few chains, but they're like usually named after Italians. You know, like there's like
Oh,
Geno's or
all
something.
right.
You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yes. Gotcha.
And there were
gotcha.
these chippers.
A
Gotcha.
fish and
Oh
chip
my
shop
God.
or
Fish-
takeaway.
Fish and chip.
A commenter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but they're
All right.
incredible. And if you get a sausage from a chipper, ooh,
We fell in love with the sausage roll. When we were in
oh, a
Ireland.
sausage roll.
It's
Stop the lights.
crazy.
Do you get any from a gas station?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Man, you are trash.
They are the best, and also the fried chicken at the gas stations, petrol stations over there. But the fried chicken and the sausage rolls at a gas. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did you get a chicken fillet roll?
We did have a chicken fillet roll.
I don't
I
remember.
might have been at the gas station. We stopped at one gas station on the way to the West Coast, and we did it specifically because we heard that the food at the gas stations was top shelf.
Incredible.
Trashy, but top shelf.
Great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, sausage roll, man. Stop the lights. Stop
That's a
the
breakfast.
lights. It
Two
is.
of those and a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Right back to
a
bed.
cup of tea, you know, if you're over. on
Are
the
you
other
tea or
side.
coffee?
I'm a coffee person.
You're a
Big
coffee
coffee
person.
snob, actually.
How do you?
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
In
All
what
right.
sense?
Yeah,
Like, well,
in
we
what
offered you a
sense?
cup of coffee when you got here. Under what? No
Absolutely
way.
not.
You wouldn't have took it.
No, well,
She didn't.
I didn't.
Of course.
I didn't. Well, no. Like I like to. That's when we go out. We're traveling all the time.
Mhm.
That's what I look for, right? Like I look for a good coffee shop,
Okay.
and then we go, and that's our experience. You know, that's what we look for
Sure.
whenever we go to a different town. Like,
Starbucks,
we'll
how do you
find-
What's
feel about
the-
that? No.
No,
Oh
she
God,
made a
no,
face.
God,
Just give you
no,
an elbow
God,
drop.
No, God, no, God, no,
What's
God,
what's the order? Like, what's the? You're at a perfect. You're at a perfect cafe. What's the go? What are you doing?
Well, so it depends on so standardly an espresso and a cortado, right? Like
Cortados are great.
Oh, they're great. They're great.
I found out what they were not that long. My wife's European,
I
and
thought it was a city in Spain.
they're fantastic.
So we'll get an espresso and a cortado, and then depending on how tired I am, then maybe like a sugary treat. You know, so I get to try the coffee all the ways.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you'll do one of the Frappuccino style shaky kind of
Not
things?
like a frappuccino,
Gotcha.
style, but like some sort of a
Any
fancy
drizzle?
latte.
You doing a drizzle?
No, not really a
Should
be
drizzle.
purist.
Not really a drizzle, you know,
Okay.
but like a little like sea salt flake. You know what I mean? Like
Cla-
something like
that's
that,
classy.
You know
I'll give you
what I'm
that. That's
saying?
classy.
Yeah,
Very
classy.
classy.
Oh yeah, with a
Yeah,
little like a
yeah.
little,
You're just
like,
talking about eating at a gas station 2 seconds ago. Don't try to play. Like
Do you like a little sea salt on a chocolate chip cookie?
Oh, do I ever? Or
That's like
chocolate,
with the
yeah.
Brussels sprouts. That came out of nowhere 5 years ago and it's killing it.
Oh yeah.
If I would have known about
jeez.
that when I was a kid, I'd be dead easily by now.
I'm surprised you're not.
Incredible, incredible,
Oh, okay.
incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. Sea salt in anything, like a little chocolate.
What
big
would you say
chocolate
your
person.
go like if we were coming over for dinner? Where are you living? Where do you
Los Angeles?
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Very nice.
La La
You got a pool
And-
out there?
We do actually. Yeah,
Saltwater,
yeah,
freshwater?
Chlorine?
Chlorine.
Chlorine,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I
Hot
think
tub?
so. No, but the pool is like a hot tub. We have a heated pool.
Okay.
When we moved in, there was no. It was like cold, and I was like, we gotta.
Can't do
Okay.
that.
Can't be doing
All
this.
right.
Can't be doing this. You know, the cold is
Can-
still in my bones.
Can you
know?
walk into the
Gotcha.
pool or do you have to did it
Uh,
have like the beach entrance into the pool?
No.
It's a
no,
below
it has
gra-
its
but it's-
steps. Yeah, it's below ground.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has like a little
gotta-
fountain.
I gotta ask.
There's a WWE belt next to me.
I
You think she's got
gotta
an above
ask.
ground pool?
It has a fountain.
Yeah.
a little like fountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I like that. Yeah, it's real nice. That
Ask
made-
about going over. What were you going to say?
That's about what? Oh, if we were to go over a few things, right? We
Yeah.
come over the house.
Yeah.
How you operate?
We're happy to. I'll expect the invite when next time we're in Los Angeles.
Whatever.
Beginning of September. Pray improv, no big deal. If you were gonna cook dinner, what is the one meal you would do for us?
Well, because you're Irish lads, you know.
Yeah, but don't say the stew.
Okay, all right, but I do a good stew. I do a good
Wait, why?
stew.
You wouldn't want that?
I would, but that's gonna be. I knew that was gonna be her answer. She just did it at the dinner party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's in the bag of tricks. That's what she's putting out.
I make a great shepherd's pie, you know, like a good shepherd's pie.
Yeah, you do.
A braised short rib for being fancy. Yeah,
We're being fancy.
I
Let's be fancy.
I will say, I do make a good chicken curry. I do a great chicken curry. Do a great chicken curry. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, great chicken curry. Really tastes like the chicken curry you get from Chinese back home. You know.
I'm with you.
Oh God. Yeah, the Chinese back home, and then you get the curry chips. Did you go to a Chinese when you were over there?
No.
Stop. Because I always tell my husband about like the chips from the Chinese
Home
back
run.
in Ireland. Oh, stop it. Incredible.
Knock it off.
Incredible. And you don't get chips at Chinese over here.
Some of the ones in the city you can.
Really?
You want a little tip?
I
Kind of a trashy Chinese spot. Okay, maybe not in the best of a
It's
neighborhood.
gotta be a tough neighborhood.
If you're in there, do the half-fried chicken and fries.
It's crazy.
Home run.
Yeah.
Where is that?
If you go in most major U.S. cities, a Chinese place in not a great area will have good fried food.
A straight-up half-fried chicken with French fries.
Okay.
You get some sauce, get some hot sauce, duck sauce, whatever, put on it. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Home run.
All right. I'll let you know.
Speaking of the house,
Go on.
in the kitchen,
Yeah.
do you know what are the appliances? Like what's their fridge? Is it a Viking?
You got
Is it-
It
stainless
is a
steel.
Viking.
Is
It is
it?
a Viking.
Okay,
Yeah.
look at it.
No, it was a Viking, and it was a
Sub-Z?
piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Take
yeah.
that, Viking.
It was. Yeah. Actually, yeah. And then we had to replace it. Yeah, that's right. No. Yeah. Now I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But we have It was a Viking fridge. Crap. Pure crap.
Wow.
Like the freezer would always it was just icy, freaking frosty mess. You know, like just frosty shit on everything.
Gotcha.
I hated it. Yeah, so we got rid of that. Because, you know, we're big ice cream people too. And then, like, our ice cream
Okay,
just
let's
wasn't.
get into this.
Our ice cream wasn't staying frozen. And can't have that.
No.
Can't
What do you
have
Get
do?
you sick.
Ice cream wise, what do you guys like?
We're, you know, salt and straw? We're big salt and straw people.
Salt
Yeah,
and
big
straw?
Salt and straw people.
I
Salt
don't
and
know
straw.
that.
That's fancy. That's
Salt
LA.
and straw is fancy. Is fancy. You
Would
know,
you do a Ben and Jerry's or something like that?
I mean, yeah, I like a Ben and Jerry's. Yeah.
Flavor? What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
I mean, you know, I remember when Ben and Jerry's came to Ireland too. You know, and like, so I just remember the fish food. You know, and I
Sure.
never kind of moved
yeah.
past the fish food.
Really?
Well, because it was perfection.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, why mess with it? You know, you get the little chocolate fishies. It's
Sure.
great. And then and we have a Viking oven.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got an island in the kitchen.
We
Got
do
an
have an island in the kitchen.
Now, when
Is there a sink in that island?
There is a sink in that island. That's
pretty
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
I think that's called the produce sink or the farmer's. I forget what it is.
when you guys do have a
Nice.
night off, you're home.
Yep.
Are we having dinner at the kitchen table? Are we?
You're
in
on
front
the
of
couch.
Are we on the couch in front of the TV?
So because my husband's real into his meal prep.
Ah, that's
He's
right.
real into his meal prep. So we kind of all, for the most part, unless I'm doing a dinner party, we're all kind of eating different
Staggered.
stuff.
No
we're all
kidding.
eating different stuff, you know.
Are we sitting down
Kiddo.
together?
We're sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, or no, because now he's real into Lego. You know, so
Your husband?
oh yeah,
Okay.
huge into Lego.
Like building Legos?
Building Lego right now. He's building the Hogwarts castle. So
That's not great.
is it not great?
I mean-
think it's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's
So-
a huge thing. It's so many adults are starting to get into it.
Yeah, and
They're almost like crossword puzzles now.
oh,
Everybody
he's
loves it.
also really,
Really?
big into his crossword. But
Ton of
that
guys in
man-
the locker room. They're going to make fun of him.
No. I mean, like he's real smart. Like he's a real smart. Bastard.
Sharp guy.
Yeah, he's real smart. Like one of the smartest people I know. But like he's on like that on the New York Times crossword. Like I think it's like 5-6 years where he's had a gold streak.
What?
A gold streak for like
Damn.
5 or 6 years.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But anyway, so he'll sit there building his Lego. My daughter loves building the people. You know, she
putting the
loves
people
building
together.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll kind of all congregate at the kitchen table, which is now the Lego table. You know what I mean? So and then we'll eat there and we'll chat and
I like it.
My daughter is also she's real into glitter glue. So she'll be making like glitter glue butterflies and stuff like that and having, it's great. I love it.
Love it.
In the bedroom, king size mattress, queen size mattress.
King size.
King.
Yeah.
How many pillows are on that bed? You got a bunch?
Yeah.
Take them off before you guys go to bed?
Yeah, and then there's 2.
Okay.
Yeah. How many are we talking? 8?
Well, no.
6?
I mean, like, are we talking about decorative pillows
Everything.
too?
Yeah.
Decorative pillows, there's 4. Then, so I would say like 4 plus. We're like talking like 9, 10.
Okay.
That's a lot of pillows.
TV in the bedroom?
TV in the bedroom. Yeah, my
TV
husband
on
has
when
to
you
go
guys
to,
fall asleep?
He has to fall asleep to TV. I don't.
What's on typically?
I don't know how he does it, but like he watches like these like war documentaries, like Vietnam, like, and if I
Sure.
catch a glimpse, I'm like, oh my
That's an
God,
American
but
right there.
yeah, like I'm like, what is this human cruelty? Like I'm fascinated, and I loved history when I was young, so I can't like fall asleep, and then I'm like, then if I do, I'm just like traumatized, by watching these images of war.
That's funny. That's
And,
what soothes them.
Yeah. And he's,
love
or sometimes he'll do. I prefer when he does like space documentaries. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, that'll
I
zone
can
you
fall
out.
asleep to that.
So you
But
fall
even like Animal Planet, like I'm like,
Sure.
how do you fall asleep to that?
Yeah.
Look at this cute little panda bear. Are we gonna find out if it makes its
Yeah.
way home?
Ceiling fan?
No.
Okay.
No ceiling fan.
You like it cold in there? You like it warm in there?
Cold.
Okay.
cold,
You mentioned
cold
the
for
pillows.
sleeping.
When all the decoratives are off, are you using one pillow to go to sleep?
Yes,
Just one behind you.
just one
Are you on your side or are you on your back?
side.
Huh.
This side.
Interesting. Husband, same thing? One pillow?
One pillow. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, one pillow. Why is this
It's
not
just-
standard?
It tells a lot about people.
Does it?
I sleep with 2 pillows in my head. I hug one and I have one between my legs.
Oh wow. Okay.
Somebody's got some issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
One pillow.
A lot of joint pain he's dealing with over there.
Very sharp.
sometimes I'll put a pillow like
Okay.
on my
Yeah.
arm because I got shoulder pain.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I can only if I sleep too high up, it hurts my neck.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've got just a Tempur-Pedic pillow that I love right now, and
Very
it's the
nice.
cooling one.
Very
Oh,
nice.
it's so nice. It's so nice.
I got a few questions. You travel a lot, obviously. You
Yep.
said you
course.
used to be a flight attendant.
Yes.
How do you feel about taking your shoes off on the plane?
Everybody like scoffs at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just do it.
You just do it anyway. You don't
I
care.
Just do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Drop
yeah,
the seat.
I
If you're
do
not
it.
up front, do you drop the seat back? If you're in the bulkhead?
Yes.
Yeah?
I
Okay.
don't understand this. It's a system.
Also, who's gonna
You-
mess
yeah.
with it?
I know.
But like everybody just drops their seat back. Like I drop my seat back, you drop your seat, then everybody's more comfortable.
If everybody does it, I understand. Yeah, except the last guy. The last guy's up against the bathroom, but that his fault. He shouldn't have bought row.
What if it's a
35.
long...
no, you can still have a little room to go back.
Nah, not all the time.
But what airline are we talking about?
I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I've been in the back of the plane in a long time, but I've done it on
The only
Delta.
place you cannot recline is the exit rows.
No,
That's it.
sometimes
Gotta be ready to go.
Well,
on the
no.
smaller plane, the last row
So
goes right up
you
on the
ca-
bathroom.
Oh,
It does. Yeah. I've had it.
it's been a
Not
while
proud.
since I've been.
What if it's a
Yeah.
long flight? It's around the meal time. Will you give a peek back? Make sure the tray's not down. Make sure they're not still whatever. Or no.
You know,
She does. She
I
doesn't.
recline right away.
Whoa.
Bam, I'm going
She
back.
does whatever she wants.
Bam,
God,
I'm
I
going back.
hate you.
Really?
lose.
No.
She just said she's held every
No.
belt but
I'd be
one.
This is
losing.
no. Do you know what? You're the problem.
Yes,
You've
he
got
is.
to-
I've
you
been
have to-
saying
I
it for
agree with
years.
that.
You recline.
Gotcha.
You have to recline. Everybody recline. Everybody recline. Let's all live in comfort. I don't care if somebody's reclining on me. You
You're
live
be-
in comfort. I'm reclining on them. And
Okay.
then we're all living in comfort. We're all
I'm gonna
living in
vote
comfort.
for you.
Man, I got real mad at an old man one time. I felt so bad. He was just trying to get some sleep.
Of
I
course
was
he
losing it.
was. You're the problem. You are the problem.
Man, no
You
one's ever
just
got
need-
this show this
nobody's-
much.
Nobody's stopping you from reclining.
For
Nobody's
sure.
stopping you from reclining.
Mhm.
All right.
So why are you stopping him from reclining? What's your problem?
I can't sit back like that.
You can't
Especially-
sit back. That's comfort city.
Mm.
Comfort
I gotta
city.
be ready. In case something goes down.
What's gonna like the only time it's gonna go down is when you're taking off or landing. And so if
No,
you're
he
taking
thinks
off or
if,
landing, then it's up.
He thinks if he needs to restrain somebody, if there's a
If something happens on the plane, I gotta step into action. I gotta be ready.
Listen, not if she's on the flight, all right? I don't need you. King Kong Bundy over here.
I start yelling at her. She stands up like, nah!
How often has that happened?
Never.
Exactly.
Of course.
Okay.
Will you bring food on the plane? How do you feel about that?
Oh, yes, of course.
Like, will you food from home, or like, will you buy like a banana, or will you get like, will you stop at get a Whopper and take that on the plane?
Oh, no. Well, like
a
that's
dry food.
Tuna fish
No,
sandwich.
no. God, Jesus,
Okay.
no. No, but like, yeah, like I'd get, no, nothing stinky.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing stinky.
How do you
okay.
feel
know-
about a tuna fish sandwich, by the way?
Oh, my, I've never eaten fish in my life.
Whoa.
So she doesn't like mayo too.
Hold
We
on.
mentioned mayo in the kind of the rundown while we were sitting
Never
here,
eaten
and she
fish in
said
my life.
disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Okay, all right.
Give
Who-
us a few more of those proclivities
Okay,
of food
right.
that you stay
well,
away from.
Well, look,
Okay.
whoever says this sentence, right? Like, tell me how many times you've heard this sentence. Smells like fish.
It's true.
When? When does
Never.
anybody go,
I said it 3 times
smells
this morning
like
on the way
fish.
here.
Yummy.
Really?
Nobody says yum smells like fish. Disgusting.
And if like a nice wait, so when I smell fish and chips cooking, I don't say that
Well,
smells
yeah,
great.
but it's just chips. It's the oil.
It's also fried. Yeah,
It's
you're
the
not.
It's the fragrance of the. You're not smelling the fish.
You're like
not
you
smelling
don't like
fish.
a nice salmon? You smell the salmon on the grill?
Disgusting. Disgusting.
You don't like salmon? All that protein?
Disgusting. I've
I know the
never eaten it.
hubby's eating salmon.
Yeah.
I love how you're
probably.
criticizing her eating thing. You're like, oh, all that
Yeah.
protein. Like,
I don't
listen,
know what the hell
she's
you're
doing.
doing.
All right.
Yeah, like I know it's all good for you and all that stuff.
No,
but
No,
Oh,
it's
so-
not that.
And the it looks like the texture.
I understand.
Hold on, oysters?
I've
Dude, she's not doing
never,
salmon.
never. I've never.
Really?
Did your
Never.
family? Was your family? Would they do it? Like your dad and stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they
Huh.
eat fish.
How do you get your steak
Not
cooked?
often. Well, I always say this to the waiter. I say I want the chef to be disgusted with himself. I want him
You
to be
are
so offended.
Trash.
I want him to be so offended. That's when it's so great. We went to this real fancy place for my husband's birthday. Not so long, and I got like a little extra on the tasting menu, and it was like this Wagyu, and
You had him.
like
You had him
tiny
kill the
little-
Wagyu.
I said, please just burn that Wagyu, and I was in
Good for
heaven.
you.
I was like, this is amazing. This is how I like it.
Yeah.
This is how it should be. I don't want to know that I'm eating a poor little moo cow. You know what I mean? I want to, like, maybe I'm eating cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
Charred cardboard. Yummy. Charred cardboard.
Okay.
I'd much prefer that.
All right.
I mean, you
What
know.
else you got for me?
I mean, listen, you.
What else you got?
Very
Well,
rarely have someone come in. I was like, I don't know how much, at the beginning of the story, and then as the big man said, the second we hit Orlando, we took a hard
Did you ever get the
right.
root canal finished?
I did. I got one removed too. Well, so what happened was I went in.
Are you
I
missing a tooth in the back?
I am missing a tooth in the
Wait,
back.
did you get it replaced or it's still missing?
I went to the place to get it redone, and then I went back to work, and then one day. I mean, I'm actually missing two.
But you're a wrestler. that's an occupational hazard. I'll give you that.
One happened actually
Yeah,
in
but she's also an incredibly successmal person with the means. I love it.
Oh,
That's
look
great.
at but then
got
you
two
gotta
teeth
but you gotta go on there. So what happened? One of them was I moved to New York when I was 23, and I like came over. I had like $2,000 in my bank account. And I was like, that'll do me the summer. That'll do me
That'll
the
get you out
summer.
of a weekend.
Didn't last me 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was living in a hostel up at
Jesus.
Olympic Circle. You know,
Okay.
up a little hostel in there, like
Where's
four-
Olympic Circle?
Olympic Circle.
That's
Columbus
like by
Circle.
Columbus
Oh,
Circle.
Columbus
Columbus
Circle.
Circle. Sorry. Columbus Circle. And
For how long?
a couple of days.
Okay.
So then I went down
Just
to
out of cash.
Then there was a little bar in New York called Shades of Green. You know?
Sure,
it?
of
yeah,
course. I
don't
14th
know.
Street.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I was looking for a job, and I was like, lads, do you have a job? And they were like, no. And then I was like, shit. And they were like, well, do you want to stay and have a drink? I was like, yeah, hit me. Give me a drink. And so then anyway, like got talking to the owner of the bar, and they were like, well, where are you staying? I was like, I'm up in this hostel. And they were like, well, how much is that costing you? I was like, $35 a night. And they were like, well, look, we've got a room upstairs, and maybe you want to stay there, for
These are
a little
Irish
while.
fellas, I
These are
assume.
Irish fellas.
You guys stick together when you get
dude,
over
they got
here.
the-
You guys are thick
They
as
got the-
thieves.
I worked at a bar on the Upper East Side when I lived up here the first time when I was younger. Man, the Irish network in the restaurant bar scene, forget about it.
Incredible.
It's like the Underground Railroad. Everybody's
It
in.
is. It is. It's lovely. A little community. And they were like, yeah, you can go stay up there. And so I stayed up, and it was just like literally a tiny little, about the size of this table, with just a little bed and a sink. And then like down
That's
the hall, and then there was like these. I think they were like maybe drug addicts. I'm not sure, living right next to me.
Say all the above, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think they discriminated.
Yeah,
They're living above a bar.
Yeah, but they had like a little rent control room. I think that was the same, and we all shared a shower.
No.
What? You know, but they would come back like at all hours in the
Banged
morning,
up.
just like all out of it, like fights and everything. But anyway, so then one day I was living there, and I got this real bad tooth pain, and like couldn't sleep. And then there was a dentist right next to it, and they were like, look, we're gonna have to either root canal it or take it out, and didn't have any money, so out it comes. And so then that one
Did the same thing.
and so then that one was gone, and so that's, and now that it's, my teeth have like grown too close together.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then when I was in Orlando,
It all comes back to Orlando.
I had this tooth pain that was coming from the top of my mouth, and they were like, I think it's coming from the bottom of your mouth. Will we root canal or take it out? And again, I didn't have much money, so all right, I guess we're getting rid of two. So they yanked it. And then it was coming from the top of my mouth. and then I was like, well, I can't be missing 3 teeth. I can't be
Two's the
missing
limit.
3 teeth. Two's the limit. So then I got the root canal, had to borrow money from my ma. Thank God she lent it to me. And then my car blew up. Oh, it was a whole disaster. And like this was 4 months into moving over here. I was like, oh, the American dream.
Man.
I'm living it.
I love
I'm
it.
living
Look at you
it.
now. Love
Look
to
at you
see
now.
it.
Looking at it now, I still haven't got my tooth. I will. I
One day,
will.
when you
I will.
retire.
I will. Well, like, look, who's got the time? And then, you know, I went not too long ago. I went to, and he was explaining, you know, and then whether you do it when you're awake or they put you under.
Sure.
You
I
know?
get it.
And I was like, I can be brave. And then I never went back. I need to go back
Sure.
because I can be brave.
Listen, I have all the information I need to render. I think I rendered my judgment at about like 24 minutes in. You're 100% trash, and I love it. It's fantastic.
One of the best to ever do it. Superstar, world champ, intercontinental champ. 100% trash.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. Unbelievable.
Do you get price for this?
We don't have a belt. It's being made at the moment.
We're going to get your root canal.
Yeah, we'll finally get that.
We got
Yeah.
it. Becky
They're
Lynch, ladies and
expensive,
gentlemen.
so please,
Dude, they
thank
bang
you.
you out. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, thank you.
And they say they're not that great for you because they always end up falling out.
Well, yeah, there was that whole thing about the root canal, but I think that's a lie.
Conspiracy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's that's
Yeah.
a lie. You know,
100%
anyway.
trash. Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Give it up for her.
One more time.
WWE
For the champ.
superstar, intercontinental champ, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
And just another quick reminder, SummerSlam, first time 2-night event.
Big,
MetLife
huge.
Stadium, a monster. What's that going to be in a few years? That'll be like a week probably. It'll be like
Oh
a
my
festival.
God.
Probably
Yeah.
I mean, probably
is, alright.
900,000 people be going to that thing.
It's insane.
MetLife Stadium ain't small.
If you
Last
don't
time
got,
I was there is the main event. Yeah, main event of
interesting.
WrestleMania.
Huh.
Yeah, WrestleMania 35.
That's
at
right.
that.
That was the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. Very cool. If you're not there, stream it on Peacock. What a fun one.
Yeah, so much fun.
What a
Thank you
fun
so
one.
much. We appreciate it.
Congratulations
Yeah,
on
yeah.
everything.
Thank you.
The
I
champ.
appreciate it.
Becky Lynch, 100% garbage, everybody. Look at that.
There you have it.
We love you. Kippy, what do you got for us?
Guys, we're on the road in the fall. In the winter, get your tickets. Shows are selling out. Want to see you out there. Love yous. Mean it.
Gang, we love you. Becky, we love you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.